Most people have never seen the Strait of Hormuz. Many have never heard of it. Yet every day its influence reaches almost every country on Earth. The fuel in a car, the cost of electricity, the price of goods moving across oceans, all can be affected by what happens in this narrow stretch of water. Located between Iran to the north and Oman to the south, the Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most important maritime choke points. At its narrowest point, the strait is only about 33 kilometers wide. That may sound large, but when you consider the enormous volume of global trade passing through it, the waterway suddenly feels remarkably small. Every day, hundreds of vessels travel through these waters. Massive oil tankers, container ships, natural gas carriers, fishing boats, Coast Guard vessels, and ferries connecting local communities. Together they create one of the busiest shipping routes on Earth. The importance of the strait comes from geography. To its west lies the Persian Gulf. Along that gulf sit some of the world's largest oil and gas producers. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates export enormous quantities of energy. For much of that energy, there is only one route to the open ocean: the Strait of Hormuz. This means a significant share of global oil and liquefied natural gas passes through a corridor only a few kilometers wide, a narrow passage connecting regional economies to the wider world. Yet despite its global significance, life around the strait often feels surprisingly ordinary. Fishing villages line parts of the coastline. Families have lived beside these waters for generations. Children attend school. Fishermen leave before sunrise. Markets open each morning. Life continues regardless of headlines or international attention. On the southern side of the strait lies the Arabian Peninsula, an isolated region belonging to Oman. Separated from the rest of Oman by the United Arab Emirates, this mountainous peninsula creates one of the most dramatic landscapes in the Middle East. Steep cliffs plunge into deep blue water. Remote villages cling to rocky coastlines. Traditional wooden boats known as dhows continue navigating waters that have been used for centuries. The scenery often surprises visitors. Many imagine the region as endless desert. Instead, they discover rugged mountains, hidden coves, and spectacular coastal views. For local residents, the sea remains central to daily life. Fishing continues supporting many families. Species such as tuna, kingfish, and mackerel are regularly caught in surrounding waters. Long before oil transformed the Gulf region, communities here depended on fishing, trade, and pearl diving. Those traditions helped shape local culture. Even today, traces of that maritime heritage remain visible. Across the water, Iran's southern coastline tells another story. Ports, towns, and cities line the northern side of the strait. For centuries, merchants crossed these waters carrying goods between Arabia, Persia, India, and East Africa. The strait functioned as a gateway connecting civilizations. Ships carried spices, textiles, pearls, and countless other products. Long before modern oil tankers arrived, these waters already played a vital role in global commerce. What has changed is the scale. Today's vessels are among the largest ever built. Some tankers carry millions of barrels of oil. Their size is almost impossible to appreciate until seen in person. Towering above smaller boats, they move slowly through designated shipping lanes that guide traffic through the narrow passage. To outsiders, these ships may appear distant and impersonal, but each vessel represents jobs, industries, and economies stretching far beyond the horizon. And as global demand for energy grew during the 20th century, the importance of the Strait of Hormuz increased dramatically. A local waterway became a global lifeline. Living near the Strait of Hormuz means sharing your environment with one of the busiest transportation corridors on Earth. For local residents, giant tankers are part of everyday scenery. Children grow up watching enormous vessels pass through the horizon. Fishermen navigate alongside some of the largest ships ever constructed. The global and the local exist side by side. In Oman's Musandam region, communities remain closely connected to the sea. Some villages are so isolated that boats remain one of the most practical forms of transportation. Mountain terrain makes road construction difficult. As a result, maritime connections remain essential. People travel for work, for education, for healthcare. The sea functions not only as a resource, but as a transportation network linking communities together. Tourism has also become increasingly important. Visitors arrive to explore dramatic fjord-like inlets, often referred to as the Norway of Arabia. Boat tours navigate through narrow waterways surrounded by towering cliffs. Dolphins frequently appear alongside vessels. The region's natural beauty attracts travelers from around the world. This tourism provides valuable economic opportunities while showcasing a side of the Gulf many outsiders never expect to see. Meanwhile, major ports throughout the region operate around the clock. Cargo is loaded and unloaded. Fuel shipments depart for distant markets. Supply chains depend upon the constant movement of ships. Modern port operations require highly skilled workers, engineers, pilots, logistics specialists, maritime crews. The shipping industry supports thousands of jobs directly and indirectly. Yet alongside this modern infrastructure, traditional ways of life continue. Markets sell fresh seafood. Families gather for evening meals. Religious traditions remain central to community life. Local festivals celebrate heritage and identity. The rapid development associated with energy wealth has transformed many Gulf communities. But culture remains deeply rooted. The contrast is fascinating. Ancient maritime traditions exist alongside some of the world's most advanced infrastructure. Fishing boats share waters with billion-dollar tankers. Historic trading routes overlap with modern energy corridors. The past and future often feel remarkably close together. For many residents, this balance defines life around the strait. The world may view these waters primarily through the lens of economics and geopolitics. But for local communities, they remain home. A place where people build families, pursue careers, and maintain traditions passed down through generations. Few waterways attract as much international attention as the Strait of Hormuz. The reason is simple. The modern global economy depends upon reliable transportation, and this narrow passage remains one of its most critical links. Any disruption immediately attracts worldwide interest. Governments monitor developments closely. Energy markets respond quickly. Shipping companies adjust operations when necessary. The significance of the strait extends far beyond the Middle East. Its influence reaches Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, virtually every region connected to international trade. Yet despite this importance, the future of the strait is not solely about oil. The surrounding region continues diversifying economically. Tourism is expanding. Logistics, industries are growing. Technology investments are increasing. Renewable energy projects are developing. The Gulf region is gradually evolving beyond its traditional economic foundations. Younger generations are helping drive that transformation. Many pursue education in engineering, business, science, and technology. New industries create opportunities that previous generations never imagined. Modern cities continue developing. Infrastructure expands. Global connections strengthen. At the same time, many communities remain committed to preserving cultural heritage. Traditional architecture, maritime history, local customs, religious traditions. These elements continue providing identity and continuity amid rapid change. As evening falls over the Strait of Hormuz, another procession of ships moves through the narrow waterway. Tankers head toward distant markets. Fishing boats return to shore. Village lights begin appearing along rugged coastlines. Mountains cast long shadows across the sea. Life continues much as it has for centuries, even as the world around it changes. This is the Strait of Hormuz, not simply a strategic waterway, not merely a shipping route, but a living region where global commerce meets local communities, a place where ancient maritime traditions intersect with modern industry, and a reminder that sometimes the most important places on Earth are not the largest. They are the narrow passages through which the world remains connected.